The Grand Trawler 62 is a very important boat for Beneteau. It was designed in collaboration with its Swift Trawler owners, and we're already seeing some of those design and style notes from this boat flowing down onto the smaller Swift Trawler models. But apart from anything else, this is a big, serious lifestyle cruising yacht, a liveaboard yacht capable of 1,000 nautical miles at 9 knots with a top speed at the other end of the scale at 20 knots with its twin man 730 horsepower engines. There's a 3 or 4 cabin interior available. We have the 3 cabin boat here. Starting price is around 1.7 million euros ex VAT. We're going to get you on board and show you around this big, impressive yacht. I'm Carl Richardson and you're watching YachtBuyer. We're going to start the tour of the Grand Trawler inside. As you can see, that space I was referring to is in abundance. This facing sofa here is an option. Normally you can have cabinetry running all the way down here, and storage is a big part of this boat's story. The Grand Trawler was designed in collaboration with Swift Trawler owners, asking existing Beneteau Swift Trawler owners what they valued, what they wanted in a larger yacht. And apparently, looking at this boat, they said, we want lots of space, we want lots of storage, and we want some serious on-water capability. They've got it. As we walk through here, you can see this boat is designed for liveaboard cruising. It's such an easy vibe on board. We've got the galley, amidships, but this is a cruise-style galley. It can be fully enclosed. It's got a side deck access there as well. And then forward, we have a very impressive Helm Station. There's 3 or 4 cabins on this boat. We'll go down there in a second, but as you come through, you're just going to take in the space. There's a dedicated dinette, huge dining area opposite that galley area, and another side door just forward. We've now come below decks on the Grand Trawler, and we're standing in the forward stateroom. This is a cabin that would make any owner proud. It has a large ensuite. There's some really beautiful flowing cabinetry around the boat, and what I particularly like is the way that these hull side windows are cut into the flare of the bow. You really feel like you're on a boat here. But there's something else going on here, because whilst this cabin would be absolutely good for any owner, it isn't the owner's cabin. We're on a 3 cabin boat here. There's a guest cabin with twin bunks. But there's also a full beam midship owner's stateroom, and that's where we're going next. This is the owner's cabin, and it does feel it. One of the things across the entire boat, but particularly below decks, is the amount of headroom Beneteau has found. From the toilet and shower compartments to the cabins themselves, this must be near 7 foot of headroom, and it really, really accentuates that feeling of space on board. So we're in this full beam cabin. The ensuite is forward, so that allows the cabin to take up the entire beam of this very big boat. We've got a study area on this side loaded with cabinetry. I'm really pleased to see that Beneteau has retained these louvered doors, giving it that trawler feel. Sadly missing on some of the smaller Swift Trawlers, but this boat is slightly different to the Swift Trawlers. It's built in Italy, it's got a different designer, it is a different kind of Beneteau, and you really feel that in this owner's stateroom. How about this for a Helm Station? It's taking this really imposing position right up into these forward rake screens, real trawler yacht feel, but it's also quite minimal and restrained at the same time. And if you're in the salon, this isn't really affecting the feel, the lifestyle feel on board the boat. We've got 2 helm seats here. One is an option. I think you've got to have it. So as standard, you've got this central helm seat here. Then we've got the additional one, but then you've got guest seating over to the port side. But like I say, you've really got to have that optional helm seat, I think. Then you've got triple screens in front of you there, and this trawler style steering wheel. The visibility forward is fantastic, but better still, from this lower helm, which is where you'll be going on those longer cruises, taking advantage of that 4,000 litre fuel capacity and that 1,000 nautical mile range, you've also got an internal stairwell here which will take you up to that Flybridge deck, and that's a real large yacht feature. The hardtop above us, that is another option. It forms part of a comfort package. It costs around 90,000 euros and it comes with a few other niceties thrown in. But again, I feel like you've got to have this hardtop. And what that leaves is an open aft deck. But what Beneteau have done, both on this upper deck and on the main deck, is put a glass bulwark around the back. So A, you have that lifestyle feel, but also it just allows the eye to travel out across the seascape. On most trawlers, you'd have a solid coaming all the way round, and that's a really nice touch, and it just reflects that mixture of the super practical. The decks on this boat are extraordinary, they're like runways, but also that lifestyle element. There's so much relaxed, luxurious feeling on this boat, and those glass bulwarks at the back on both decks, they really are a great example of what Beneteau are trying to achieve here.
Foredeck is reached by excellent side decks, deep, wide and very safe. There's no foredeck lounge, and even the sun pads you see here, that's an optional extra, but what you do get as standard is two excellent and very deep deck lockers. The aft deck's portside seating not only creates more space and a flow from the deck salon right the way onto the deck, but it also creates a great view out, unencumbered by any seating. You just see right through that glass transom across the water.
Back on the bathing platform of the Grand Trawler, this hydraulic platform will take up to around a 400 kilogram tender, but it also acts as the entrance point to the crew quarters and a very easy access point to the engine bay. There's a 2-berth crew quarters with a separate toilet and shower. As I say, this is right on the cusp between owner operation and crew operation. So if you do want to have a couple of crew to help you on more serious cruising passages, they've got a decent amount of space down there, as you will see. But importantly, it also gives them free access to the engine bay, a very good engine bay for service points and just keeping an eye on the yacht's engineering. So here we are in the engine bay. There is deck access to the engine room just by the crew quarters, but the most straightforward way, the easiest way to get into this bay is via the crew quarters and the transom. So here we have the MAN i6 730 horsepower engines, which do look kind of lost in here, don't they? I mean, we have an awful lot of space. It's a very clean bay. We've got space for 25 kilowatt generator here, and we've got the fuel tank sitting to either side. Really good ventilation around here, really good access to the service points, the fuel filters, the raw water strainers. Couldn't be more straightforward. Very impressed with this bay, but it's that crew operated vibe that comes through here. You know, you have that very straightforward access from the bathing platform. You're coming in through here, so if you are going to crew operate this boat, they're going to have a very straightforward job. But if you're going to operate this boat yourself, you're going to really appreciate having such easy and straightforward access to your engine bay. So that was the Beneteau Grand Trawler 62, a big impressive beast, I think you will agree. I hope you liked the tour. If you did, please do like us, and if you'd like to see more of what we're doing at YachtBuyer, click up here, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be a wonderful thing too. Click up here. Thanks for watching.